This is a design in which I had total freedom. Well, not really total freedom, because the client came to me and he was inspired by a work that I did a few years ago. So I wasn't completely free to do whatever I want with the design. Of course, he had something in mind, but I never reproduce my work. I always do a unique work for any client. I create always something new. I have to admit that I was struggling a bit at first with this design, because I wasn't really in the mood of creating something horror or anyway monstrous or something like that. But anyway, I'm a professional. I already did something similar, so I put my head down and I started working and sketching ideas, and I moved forward trying to find the right choice, the right subject for this design. I try to get inspiration from different artists. This is the first draft that I did to show to the client what could be the direction. He wasn't very happy at first, and I can understand. When you do something easy, let's say if I have to draw a face, a rose, a glass hour or something like that, is pretty easy, even with a quick sketch, a quick draft, to show to the client where the face will be, where the rose will be, where the hourglass will be, and he will be able to understand pretty much how the tattoo could be, I think. But when you do something like biomech, bioorganic, horror stuff or something like that, something that basically doesn't exist, it's very difficult for the client to understand what's the direction of the design, at least until it's almost finished. But of course, if I need the feedback from my client, it's really hard to work like that. So I abandoned the idea of working on this work on paper, and I decided to do everything in digital, because it was easier for me to change the project and so on. As you can see, I'm also working on a 3D arm, and this is very helpful. I'm using this method since I think it's about 10 years or something like that, at latest probably 2016. And it's very helpful, because so I know where I can put something, where I want to do anything on the arm. Then I can go back to my canvas and refine my work and so on. So as I said, at first he wasn't very happy. Basically, it's not that he wasn't very happy. He wanted little monsters, because in the tattoo that I showed you before, that I did a few years ago, he was particularly attracted by the little monsters that came down from the shoulder. So I tried to create something similar, of course not the same, but basically pretty much in the same position and something similar. And I did also this kind of insect that is in the other part of the design, and it will be inside, and I like it very much. So it was immediately a lot happier when he saw this evolution of the design. And as I told you, it's always difficult to explain to a client where you're going, because basically you as an artist don't know where you're going when you do a design like this, or when you do, I don't know, a biomech. When you do stuff like this, it's like a tribal. If it's free inspiration of the artist, is very difficult for the client to understand. You need to trust the artist. If you don't trust the artist in stuff like that, it will be very, very difficult. I had a client, a very difficult one, that wanted to have control at any step of the design. It's impossible to work like that. Of course, this is not the case, but this can be helpful also for someone that maybe wants a design from me or from another tattoo artist. When you want something like this, or I don't know, even a tribal or a biomech, you have to trust your artist. You can't have full control, because otherwise you limit the creativity of your artist, because it's something that doesn't exist, and so you cannot understand where the tattoo artist is going with the design until the design is finished, and you have to trust him. Of course, you also need to find the right artist. You have to watch the portfolio, understand how good he is in the stuff that he does, and then you have to trust him. Because if you want something and you want full control, well, just download a design from the internet, just download an image and just copy that. It's a lot easier. Otherwise, you will get pretty much a poor tattoo, because of course you're limiting the work of your tattoo artist, you're limiting his creativity, it becomes a limit. So in this case, it wasn't the case in this for this job, but anyway, especially at the start of the design, it was something like that. I understood that he wanted something, and you know, it's easy to say you have total freedom on the design. Yeah, you have a total freedom until you do what I want you to. I mean, it's difficult. Of course, if you do something figurative and very how do you say, very realistic, like I want a woman with big lips and big eyes and with curly hair and stuff like that, of course it's easier. But when you do something that's in some way it's abstract, or even I want monsters, okay, what kind of monsters do you want? If you tell me I want a giant ant or I don't know, a centipede or something like that, okay, it's easier. But if many times the client don't know what he wants. Anyway, I went on with the design, and at the end he was very pleased by my design, by my choices, how I structured the entire design. Even if I have to say, the tentacle, the octopus tentacle that I put inside in this design is not an octopus, but of course if you have a tentacle like this, you can think about an octopus. And by side you can see there is a design of Tom Strom, that is a great designer, and well, it's a great tattoo artist and also a great illustrator. I chose that image because I like the effect that he used on this kind of tongue, and I wanted to use the same effect on the tongue of this monster that it will be on the shoulder. And the other image is from Andy Braze, and is a great illustrator and comic artist. I love his job, his work, even if I think it's a lot of time that he's not sharing new design online. Maybe he got tired from social network and stuff like that, and it's pretty understandable. If you have a job and you're working well, who cares? Nowadays social media is almost a pain in the ass for any artist, but as a tattoo artist we don't have a publisher for which you can do a lot of work for the entire year, so you have to work with single clients, and of course we have to use social networks to show our work to the world and to find new clients, of course. So when the design is almost completed, of course, and also during the process, I always double check on my 3D arm so that I can check if the design is going well, if it's like I want it. Like here, I'm modifying a tooth of the monster. And so it's also difficult to tell you, I don't know what else I can tell you. Now I'm working on the lights, on the design, and I'm pretty sure probably before I tattoo this work, probably I will do a few changes, because while I'm recording this video, I can see something that I'm not completely happy, and I can make it better. First of all, that tentacle, because it looks unnatural, especially the last band before the point. So probably I will work on that. I love this kind of insect. I love this kind of, that could be the head of the centipede that goes around the tattoo, around the arm. I also love the idea that I had of this kind of mouth, these teeth around the wrist. So this is pretty much the work, and in a few moments you will see the end result of the design. And of course I'm looking forward to start this design that probably will start late in January 2025. And yeah, I don't know what else I can say. I hope you enjoyed the video, that I could share some useful information for potential client or tattoo artists or tattoo fans or people that just are interested in this kind of stuff. And this is the final result. And remember to subscribe to the channel, click the bell, and see you next time. Bye bye.